It's gonna have a keep it down.
What up, players? It's the morning after with Nick and Big J. We are present and accounted for on this 11th day of December 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over yonder, dude.
Yeah, present.
How does it feel?
Good.
You excited for your Thursday?
Yeah, man.
You got lots of things on the Big J agenda? The Big Agenda, if you will?
Sure.
What's going on? Rattle it off.
Well, work.
Yeah. No, that's a standard.
Oh, okay. And I think I'm putting on some preparations. I'm going to be doing a stream here, and not this coming week, the week of Christmas, Nick.
Yeah.
For the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Idaho.
Nice.
And do a little American Truck Simulator, kind of wrap things up for the year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just for fun, or are there
raise
goals
money.
here? Okay.
I'll raise some, just a couple extra bucks here and there.
Nice.
If somebody's like, I didn't buy as many presents as I should have, I'll give it to Big J and his charity.
Do you have plans as to what the route is going to be?
No, I need to put
Okay.
that together. But I'm trying to get everything working again. It's been a while since I've done it.
It's true.
So,
How long has it been? Like
couple
2 years?
Yeah, a couple years.
Yeah. Did you put away the game entirely, or do you still fiddle with it every now and again, or are you reacquainting everything with it?
Yeah, reacquainting everything. I've added some stuff, so...
Are you setting up the whole cockpit kind of
Yes.
thing? Okay, good. That'll be fun.
So trying to dial that in and make it look cool. And that's the plan.
Beautiful. So it's a big day of checks and balances and making sure everything is digitally working the way it should and looking the way that it should on a screen.
Yes.
I mean, but you enjoy that, right?
I do. Yeah, but sometimes it does get frustrating. I've been frustrated by my audio setup a little bit because I can't figure out some issues.
Okay.
So that is always problematic, which means you have to strip it down and start from the beginning, and it's like, ugh.
And audio's like your field, and so it's got to be double insult.
Well, yeah, but also it's one of the most important factors in general
of streaming? Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch stream, but they can't hear a damn thing. That's not fun. So, yes, I'm looking forward to that. Good. Congratulations, man. That's fun.
Thanks, man.
Of course, we have some plans today. Big J is going to give you a Nerd Alert. Is there any American Truck Simulator news in today's Nerd Alert?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Some big news, though.
You'll have some alternative news in the world of tech and gaming coming up with Nerd Alert. That's going to happen. 3 Days Grace tickets are going to be up for grabs today. That's part of the agenda. We also have a chance for you to go to hell with us, as well as check out some headlines and some other fun things. So should be a fun Thursday show. That's our goal. We also play music, so let's get to that too. Some Stone Temple Pilots kicking things off here on the morning after on the X.
The Globe, in search of news. Important stuff. On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, important stuff is brought to you by our big holiday treasure giveaway party happening Monday at Hotel Renegade, downtown Boise, 11th and Grove. Party's going to kick off at 6 o'clock, and that's when the fun is going to start. Now, of course, if you have qualified for the big grand prizes, which is going to be your share of $10,000 along with some other great prizes, you are good to go. You know where you need to be. You know what time you need to be there. We're letting you know because this party is open to the public. You're going to give away some last chance qualifiers at the party. So, got to be at Hotel Renegade between 6 and 7 on Monday. But you can join us there, and you could possibly get your name drawn to be part of the final big giveaway and win yourself some stuff just in time for Christmas. It's low risk, high reward, Big J. So swing on by and be a part of our big holiday treasure giveaway party. It's presented by Skoglaw, CBH Homes, by Martin, of course, Hotel Renegade. We'll see you at Hotel Renegade on Monday. Is it okay if we kick off the show maybe talking about something that isn't exactly high hilarious, but it's something important that we need to talk about?
Okay.
Mental health, Big J.
Oh, yeah.
You know who Lee Flynn is, right?
Lee Flynn?
Yeah, the director of the Idaho Crisis and Suicide Hotline. He's been on the show a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Lee, of course, is trying to use this particular time of year to remind people that, listen, the holidays can be a fairly depressing time for a lot of folks. And so there can be some mental health struggles that happen during this particular time of year. And they're seeing an influx in calls in 988, the suicide hotline here in Idaho. And, we don't talk about it a lot in a wide kind of form. We try to bring it up a little bit here on this show because we think it's incredibly important to talk about. But nobody talks about the suicide rate here in the state of Idaho, and it is incredibly high. We are ranked 4th in the United States of America in suicides. And I think everybody that we know, all of us, everybody that you know has been affected by suicide in some way, shape, or form. And it is important to know that if you find yourself in a bad state of mind, there is a place that you can go to, a place that you can reach out to here in Idaho, 988. It's 3 numbers that you need to remember. If you are struggling with your mental health during this holiday season, Lee and his great bunch of volunteers are trained to help you through this time so that you find out things like you're not alone. People experience this stuff. This is the time of year where things are going to get dark and bad, and so it's okay to feel those feelings, but it's more important to talk them out so that you don't act on them and that you learn important things like this place is better with you here and people love you and you're not alone and things aren't as bad as you think they might be. So it's important to know that kind of tool and piece of knowledge is here for you to help out during what could be a mental crisis during the holiday season. So this is a reminder. They're seeing higher calls than normal. It is that time of year, but if you find yourself in that situation, if things are grim, 988, Lee and his crew are there to help you out during this holiday season. Please take that opportunity to use it if you find yourself in a moment of crisis, okay?
Yeah, it's crazy that we're 4th in the country.
Yeah. We talk about our mental health a lot here on this show. It is because, I think over the year, listen, we've been on this show for 18 years, and we've grown up on the radio just like a lot of other people have, and I think we've realized the importance of mental health, and both of us having been in therapy in our lives, some of us still doing it twice a week, we realize that it's important to prioritize your mental health and make sure that you are taking that into account because it's easy for that to slip out of your hands and for things to get dark, especially this time of year. So do what you can to make sure you are sticking around because we sure as heck want you here. Agree or disagree?
Agreed, yes.
When Indiana beat Ohio State on Saturday to win the Big Ten championship game, it was arguably the biggest achievement in the history of Indiana football. And so obviously everybody was happy, right? There was a party going on. You understand?
Yeah.
That included Indiana defensive end Stephen Daly having fun, high-fiving fans, jumping around. And Big J, as he was jumping around, he injured himself.
No!
Badly. He landed awkwardly on his right leg. He will probably not be available for the playoff run. It's a guy that had 38 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles on a really good Indiana defense. And he ended up getting hurt high-fiving fans. That's not great. So be careful during celebrations, everybody. I mean, listen, these are few and far between, but every time it happens, it becomes a gigantic story because it's something that is easily avoidable. So just
relax, man. Sometimes those end zone, celebrations also get a little crazy. Guys jumping on each other, and
every time I see somebody flip into the end zone and land on their back, I'm like, why in God's name would you ever do that? Why? But listen, the adrenaline's flowing. You're pumped up. You're ready to go. Big J, the world of TikTok is going to get into the podcast world. The actual, company TikTok is going to produce a new live podcast series called TikTok in the Mix. It's going to premiere tonight. And it is a series that's created in partnership with T-Mobile. And it's going to open up with Demi Lovato. You know who that is, right?
Yeah, I believe she's a singer.
Jack Konier of Trackstar. Do you know who that is?
No.
He's the host of the podcast. And he's going to discuss recording her latest album. They're going to have 30-minute episodes. It will stream live on TikTok and then be available for you whenever you want. The idea is to hopefully highlight the creative process when it comes to writing music and making albums and things like that. That's the angle that TikTok in the Mix is going to make. Did they reach out to you at all to host this TikTok music podcast?
No.
What the hell, dude? You got a page on there, right? That's got some hits?
Yeah, I do.
They went with this Jack Konier guy that we don't know who it is? That feels like it's an insult. I'll be honest.
You're right. More of insults happening lately.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks. Sure, AC/DC here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. All of you in relationships that think you may be on thin ice right about now, head on a swivel today, dude. Because today, December 11th, is officially known as Breakup Day, the world over. It's because it's the number one day a year for breakups. Now, it's not exactly a scientific study, but it started way back in 2008 because researchers looked back at the past 10 years of Facebook back in that time and found out that December 11th was the number one day of the year where people were most likely to change their status from in a relationship to single. So that is how this day has got the lore of Breakup Day here in the United States of America. But holidays are tough on the relationships, and maybe this is when it happens. Why is
That's when that straw breaks.
Yeah. I mean, 75% of daters have had breakups of some kind during the holiday season because there's a lot of pressure.
I've had 2.
You had?
Yeah.
During the holiday season? Before Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of that because, listen, people are worried about having to go to family gatherings if they're in a relationship that isn't all that great, or they're feeling rushed to commit, or presents, or whatever. There's anxiety revolved around all of that. So this is one of the many reasons why this is the day that people want to step out. Here's the good news, though. If you make it to Christmas, you're good. Christmas Day has the lowest number of relationship breakups. So if you and your significant other make it to the actual December 25th, you probably can take at least the day off to worry if this is when the other hand is going to drop and you're going to be in some serious trouble. So you've got that much time to make it through. But yeah, apparently today's the day where it can get rough. So watch out. I'm not saying you have to walk on eggshells. I'm just saying you never know if this is the day that things are going to go sideways. It is breakup day after all. And I certainly hope I'm not putting thoughts in anybody's head. I don't want to do that.
Ooh.
This is not my study.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's...
This is just simply something that happens. I think if you're in a committed relationship and you're happy, live forever together. I think that's correct. But I'm just saying, watch out. Today is the day that apparently it happens the most often here in the United States of America. And what a terrible reason to go, well, it is breakup day. I might as well do it, right?
I guess.
Might as well make it today.
Look at what today is.
No.
Weird. I got something to do.
Sounds like I have to celebrate Breakup Day. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, Big J is going to give us a nerd alert. That is next on the X Rocks.
The nerds. Nerd Talk.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Yeah, and you know what? Simply named, but it covers everything. Today at 2:30 our time, 2:30 p.m. our time, the 2025 Game Awards will stream to the ether, Nick. And aside from all the awards portion, plenty of developers and studios will be unleashing plans and trailers for the upcoming year. The word has it, we're going to see some new Tomb Raider action, along with perhaps one of the villains of IO's James Bond game. Here are the nominees as well for the best games of 2025. And leading all games with 12 nominations this year, Nick, perhaps your favorite game, well, it is your favorite game, you told me, Expedition 33.
Great game.
Fantastic. So that is the leader in the house right there. Also getting nominated, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So a couple of these games were also some of my favorite, my kids' favorites for the year, as Maddie played a couple of those, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in particular. So we'll see what comes of that and all the news and stuff. We'll have plenty to follow up next week on Nerd Alert, but that is happening. And you can find it on YouTube or whatever platform you want to see, or just, hear the news later at some point.
Why in the middle of the day?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I think because maybe it's being actually produced and done from overseas in Europe.
Got it. Okay.
That would probably make the most sense right there. Nick, a lot of people are not going to have Call of Duty to kick around every year anymore. The dev team there issued a statement basically acknowledging Black Ops 7's shortcomings and promising to move off the back-to-back yearly releases of mainline Call of Duty games. This comes as Black Ops 7 has met with middling reviews and apparently worse sales numbers in the face of stiff competition this year. EA's Battlefield 6 and Embark Studios' Arc Raiders both launched around the same time and were met with widespread acclaim. Black Ops 6 was released only last year, and Modern Warfare 2 and 3 were also released in back-to-back years, leading many fans to complain each entry just did not feel or play substantially different from the previous years. And I think there's a lot of pushback on some of the stuff. Look, I can play the game for free. I haven't even downloaded it. I actually had to undownload it because they make you download it automatically when you have Ultimate Game Pass.
They do?
Yeah. They're like,
Ugh.
here. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, thanks, sirs. I don't want this. So we'll see what goes on here from now. But there's problems there at Activision for sure. Nick, and while we all have a little under a year to wait for GTA 6, if we're lucky, Rockstar dropped a huge DLC, and GTA 5 Online community called it, or as it's called, a safe house in the hills, reintroduces us to Michael DeSantis, Nick, one of the lead characters of GTA 5. Now, this marks the first time he's appeared in the online feature of the game and completes the three main characters' appearances, leading many to speculate this could be one of the last DLCs. While a bunch of fans are hoping for at least one more big summer update. So, yeah, Franklin has been in there, and, of course, Trevor, and now we have Michael. So that is a pretty big deal for those that are still playing online, and there are a ton. Basically, all GTA 5 online players will now have the opportunity, Nick, to purchase one of Los Santos' many wonderful mansions. There are 3 to choose from, and if you have the scratch, you can have all 3 of them. These ginormous palatial estates come with a bunch of lifestyle updates that include a few things players have been asking for and thought should have been in the game a long time ago. A weight room. Yeah, you can literally do bench presses, curls, and pull-ups, and it'll affect your stats. And, of course, there's yoga. There's extra garage space, helipad, security updates, all manner of things that will help you on your not-so-legal businesses. Plus, Michael DeSantis makes an appearance. And, oh, yeah, lots of new missions and cars. That dropped yesterday. So everybody is out there having fun. Not sure how much Michael DeSantis will appear in some of those. I haven't been playing. I haven't played the missions, but it does look like a lot of fun. And, GTA 5 Online, we still don't know what GTA 6 Online will look like, what that will be, if they will continue on this. But, man, this has made a ton of money. Billions, probably, for the folks at Rockstar. And they continue to put stuff into this, even though we got a game coming.
When did you check out?
Last year sometime.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just I don't have enough time to invest in playing these handful of games, because when I play a game, like, I'm invested in it. I can't get out of my own Mutt 26 way. I'm locked in, and I do my daily stuff, and it's just the grind that I put forth, just like I was doing with GTA Online. So I stepped away. I did download the update and tried to get in there, but servers are busy. I couldn't get in. So we'll see. At least I have enough money. Oh, by the way, these mansions are going to cost you about $15 million with all the perks and stuff in there to purchase. I get enough to do that, so I figured I'd check it out and see how it is. But
You're a GTA Online millionaire?
Multi-million.
Got to feel pretty
I got
good,
about 40 mil in the bank.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, for my illegal businesses.
And it's all
lots
just-
of drug running, Nick. Lots of murdering and killing. Maybe that's my mood is so poor. I haven't done that in a while.
You think you haven't done enough murdering and drug running for you to be happy?
Online.
I see.
Yeah, in games.
Got it.
Not in real life. I don't do that. There's your nerd alert.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some important stuff on the way. Also, we're going to hell. It's coming up on the X. Your remote.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
2026 is almost looking us right in the eyes, Big J.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next year in your calendar. Do you have any trips planned for 2026 where you are going to be going somewhere?
Yes.
Nice. Anywhere on a flight?
No. I
Okay.
mean, well, I'm sure probably. I mean, we take little flights here and there everywhere.
Sure.
But we talked about this. No big trips. For me, anyways, I think next year, a good portion of the family, they're flying to Japan, Nick.
In 2026?
Yeah.
Got it. A new survey reveals that 91% of Americans intend to travel somewhere next year, with nearly half planning more trips than they did in 2025. 2/3 of respondents prioritize travel experiences over material purchases this year. Most Americans are looking for someplace they haven't gone before, 55% hoping to travel abroad and not like just taking a trip to a state that they've been or visiting family or something like that. As a matter of fact, 57% of travelers do not consider like grabbing a plane to go see a family member, quote unquote, traveling. Does that fall into traveling in your purview, Big J?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. They also don't consider road trips traveling, Big J. That's a big thing. You have to be on a flight. You have to go somewhere for it to be a trip. All right. Big J respectfully disagrees. Hotel loyalty programs are the most important thing you should have when traveling. I imagine you and your family agree on that.
100%, man.
At least 58% of Americans are enrolled in at least one program. And
I mean, you got two to choose from, really. There's like two major, well, I guess three.
Yeah.
But once you get in one of those, it's hard to get out. It's hard to stay anywhere else because
they keep pulling you back in.
But the savings are huge when you use all that. So
70% of people would say they would sacrifice dining out for 6 months so that they can plan a vacation, Big J. Do you think you could do that?
yes.
Would you like
How
to?
about sacrificing your motorcycle?
Well, you're not doing that. You're not making a sacrifice. I just have
Hell,
no.
I'm not, you son of a bitch.
I'm just saying. It could be fixed anytime you want to. You're just choosing not to. Big J, rough day for Michigan yesterday, specifically the Michigan football program. Sharon Moore was their head coach for 2 full seasons and their offensive coordinator before that when they won the national championship under Jim Harbaugh, who had his own set of circumstances which made him no longer employable at Michigan. But yesterday, Sharon Moore was fired as the head coach of Michigan after it was uncovered that he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. And then the day got weirder and worse. Somehow after that, Sharon Moore had a bunch of different circumstances that has made him wind up in police custody as a suspect in alleged assault. Just hours after he was fired as the football coach, he was initially detained by police in Saline, Michigan on Wednesday and turned over to authorities in Pittsfield Township for an investigation and potential charges. There are some details that are leaking out. There are some that still aren't exactly confirmed. What we do know was it was not a good situation.
Not pretty, man.
No, in any way, shape, or form. Don't even know the details of the relationship. There were some things trickling out on social media as early as the 1st of this month about him apparently getting a staff member pregnant. And that's what kind of triggered the investigation. Found out it was truthful. And Sharon Moore then was let go. Of course, he is a married man, has a family, all these other things that are going on. So there is a lot of drama in Michigan football currently, Big J, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I wonder which drama they welcome more. Like the drama of, hey, you cheated, but you won the national championship. Oh, yeah, and then there's this.
Yeah.
Probably the other one. At least he had a championship. There's something to celebrate there.
Sure. I mean, yeah, they cheated in a different way with Harbaugh, but yeah, I mean, the championship is all they truly care about. If he would have beaten Ohio State, I don't know what the hell would have happened.
Like,
but
well, we can't do that. We'll wrap this under the carpet.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, I assure you. And so, obviously, Michigan will be looking for a replacement. Of course, they were very happy because Sherrod Moore was a Michigan man. They're really happy about that kind of stuff there. It didn't work out for the last 2 Michigan men they've hired, Big J, have got some scandals attached to them. So I don't know where you go from here, but it hasn't been great. They do have a championship to show for it, though. You're right. Big J, remember Andy Dick?
Yeah, of course. Former kind of guest from the morning after.
Former scheduled guest on the morning after with Nick and Big J. He disappeared and did not show the time he was scheduled to be on our show. But I don't know if you saw the video, but there was a video going around the internet yesterday of Andy Dick on the streets of Hollywood, very clearly overdosing on something. His face was blue and purple. Somebody from TMZ was there. They were filming a documentary, I guess, and got it all on camera. It was very uncomfortable to watch. The video stops before an ambulance has arrived, but apparently Andy Dick was taken to the hospital and he was okay. He was given Narcan from a bystander, Big J, and that saved his life. But yesterday he did kind of come clean and say that he did, in fact, Big J, overdose on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And that is what his problem is currently. The 59-year-old actor, after he was revived by Narcan, Big J, declined medical attention. So I don't know.
Let me die.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like that story's going to end very well.
No, it's not going to end well at all.
For Andy Dick. But the video was very troubling to see. Overdoses are not pretty. I don't know why TMZ would ever release that. But then again, not the first time
TMZ is evil.
has crossed the line.
I mean,
for sure.
I get it. They want to give you the unfiltered news, but sometimes maybe it should be filtered.
For various reasons. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your important stuff. We're going to go to hell. It's next on the X.
After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
We're going to hell international, Big J, as we head to China Story takes place 5 months ago. One of the worst days of work a person could possibly have. Woman is at a factory where she is a worker, Big J, and she gets involved in an accident where her hair becomes entangled in some heavy machinery.
Oh, God.
Now, I don't know if you can picture this in your head, but spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. The heavy machinery ends up tearing off part of the skin on her face, a little bit of her scalp, and then completely tearing off her left ear. Not awesome, right?
No.
Now, the accident didn't endanger the woman's life, but it left her in need of some serious reconstructive surgery, including the reattachment of her ear. But when they examined the wound, they decided, listen, the ear can't be immediately reattached because there's just too much damage to the blood vessels that are supplying blood to the ear. So they're like, listen, if we want to save your ear, we need to foster it back to health. How do you do that, Big J? How do you foster an ear back?
I have no idea.
You have to choose another part of your body that you can attach it to that's got blood vessels that match up with where an ear should go. Now, I know you know your anatomy, and the best place that you can do that, Big J, is your foot. Because your foot has very thin skin, very thin blood vessels. It's like the side of your head.
Thank God.
And it's a wonderful way to attach your ear to it. And so they did. They decided to attach the ear to the upper kind of like part instep of her left foot. And they plopped it on there, Big J. And so, yeah, as part of the story, I've got a lot of pictures of an ear on a foot. And I'll be honest, it looks pretty bonkers.
Yeah. Like you would think it would, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there is an ear growing onto somebody's foot. And it's very, very strange. Now, of course, the ear itself doesn't do any of the hearing. You understand that, right?
Sure.
This is strictly for cosmetic purposes.
Yeah.
And she could still hear out of the hole in your head, essentially, that is where your ear usually is protecting. But they needed 5 months for this ear to grow on the side of her foot. It did. And last week, Big J, they lopped off the ear off of her foot and put it back on her head. Now, it took a little bit more time than they had thought because, listen, some of the blood vessels on her face were twisted and deformed because of the injuries that she sustained. But when they dissected the tissue layer by layer under a microscope, they found usable blood vessels and nerves, and they connected them to those in the ear. And so, Big J, the woman's ear is finally back home on the side of her face. We have ourselves a real medical miracle here. The question then becomes, Big J, obviously this was difficult for her because she couldn't wear normal shoes. She had to walk very carefully so she didn't trip and fall on her ear. And it had to be a real trying 5 months of pain and awkwardness. Would you go through that to reattach the ear to your head?
I suppose so,
All
yeah.
right. Why not, right? Give it a shot. So it is a possibility to do that, and now you know medical miracles can happen, so ears can be reattached. What a treat, right?
Yep.
So make sure you're a part of it if that happens. Just stay away from heavy machinery, please. We beg you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks. Morning After with Nick and Big J. And quite frankly, Big J, we did it. We are filthy. I hope you're proud.
Yeah.
Because they did a brand new study specifically among English-speaking countries. And what they did was they monitored our social media from the year 2006 all the way to 2025. And that meant it was
20 years, man.
It was a total of 7.8 billion different posts, right?
Oof.
Across different forms of social media across the different countries. And they found out that the United States of America, far and away, is the country most likely to throw down F-bombs when it comes to our social media for whatever reason. We were number one with a bullet. Britain came in number 2. Australia came in and number 3. Now, Australians are more creative when it comes to variations of the word. They used about 2,160 different spelling variants and hyphenations of the F word compared to 1,900 in the United States and 1,400 in the UK. The study adds that as the years gone on, there have been more and more F-bombs being dropped in social media than years prior, and it is infiltrating other mediums as well in the written form, as it were. And they're noticing that as there are video now social medias, the F word is omnipresent in those as well, specifically in the United States. They did notice, however, it has gone down when speaking with acquaintances and those kinds of things. So we don't use it all the time, but for some reason, when we're on social media, we're dropping it like crazy. Why are we so filthy, Big J, with our potty mouth?
That's a great question. You want to try to get attention, make a point? I don't know.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I don't think that's a great way. When I see people swearing nonstop in written form, I usually tune out because I'm like, that's who are you talking to? I mean,
You with the F word.
yeah, no. I'd like to have some, intelligent conversation. That's not it.
I don't mind for emphasis dropping the F-bomb every once in a while. It's tough to do when it's attached to our accounts because we can get in trouble for those kinds of things thanks to the Federal Communications Commission. But it is certainly an interesting kind of thing that is happening, and it's happening more and more often. And you notice it, I think. I do feel like that word, or swear words in general, have become much more omnipresent in the world of social media, be it with influencers or people that are trying to be, or videos that end up going viral, like, or just sheer reaction. Like, whenever we see something surprising, a cuss word is the first word out of our mouths almost 90% of the time, no matter how old you are. And it is interesting to me how, it used to, I also don't think it's as taboo as it once was. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, swearing was once considered the language of the uneducated, and there was much better ways that you can describe yourself. And now it's really just limited to those of us that are on the radio. We're the only ones that cannot swear in the entire country.
Swearing on
politicians are swearing. Everybody's swearing. Yeah. It's only us that cannot do that for whatever reason, but it's still deemed true. And I don't think, I often thought about, like, if that were the case, would things often change? And maybe a little bit, but I don't think it would be, like, drastically different. You know what I mean? Or maybe we're just so used to not swearing, it'd be difficult to make a change.
I think we're so used to not doing it that it would be hard to contemplate doing it.
Like, is it weird when you get on stage at a show and you introduce a band and you drop an F-bomb? Is it weird for you?
Yeah, because I try to take note of the audience. I'm like, are there kids here? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But also, when we do our podcast, too, it's, every now and then we'll let something slip.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, that's also a place where we could let loose, but we don't.
No. Every once in a while, but it is very rare that we do that. And I think it's just because of habit. But also, again, we worry about the kids, but if we were to look at that kid's social media, it's probably riddled with that.
I've heard some radio guys who have very popular podcasts, and on their podcasts just swearing up a storm. And I'm like, that's impressive that you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, we could do it, too, if we wanted to. It's
Sure.
just, I think it takes a little bit of a...
I have to think about it more. And it's just, that's not how that's the delivery of a swear word is best used.
Listen, now you have your mission for the next Morning After the Movies podcast. I want you to drop at least 5 F words.
I don't think so.
And let's see if it increases our listenership.
I've caught myself a couple times.
On the podcast?
No, on the show.
Oh, sure. I mean, of course. We've had photo finishes before. I think I've had to actually dump myself once.
Yeah.
I mean, it was years ago, like 15 years ago, but I had to.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that bad of a word.
No.
It wasn't like the F word. I called myself an a-hole, and I had to dump myself out of it because I said the whole word. And for some reason, that's not allowed. But we can say a-hole, Big J. Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, feels great.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, some important stuff. Hold on for that. It's the X Rocks.
Here's track.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
The important stuff is brought to you by Team Mazda and the Pre-Owned Superstore. Big J, would you say getting financed at Team Mazda is easier than ever?
Yeah.
And that's thanks to the website GoTeamCredit.com. We can at least agree on that, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So why don't you check that out today and see what it's like to be approved with no effect on your credit. Log on to GoTeamCredit.com and see exactly what you're pre-qualified for. This is one of those surveys, Big J, that maybe, just maybe, has, a lot of science in its background, but I don't think it matters because I just don't see people changing all that much.
Okay.
This is the controversy basically surrounding normal, regular mouthwash available at any and all grocery stores, convenience stores, whatever, nationwide. You're familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
You put it in your mouth, you gargle it up, you spit it out. It is supposed to help with your teeth. It's keep your breath clean, all those kinds of things.
Protect you against gingivitis.
Sure. But it does have some side effects like discoloring teeth and concerns over some overall antimicrobial resistance. And so it may not necessarily work as well as you think it might. So scientists have been looking for a better alternative to your over-the-counter mouthwash, and they found it, Big J, and they found it in nature. And their answer is garlic. Just basically chop up some garlic, throw it in some water, and do the exact same thing that you would do with your regular mouthwash. And then, boom, you are going to have better antimicrobial kind of properties. There's no side effects to it. It is actually better at preventing kind of like gingivitis and other things that mouthwash is. But there are downsides to garlic as well, Big J. What do you think those might be?
I'm going to say garlic breath.
Yes.
Nick, that's something that will keep the vampires away and every other person you know.
Unpleasant odor is number one. And then listen, gargling garlic burns really, really bad as well.
Yeah, like a clove of garlic. I mean, that's...
But listen, mouthwash doesn't feel great either. It's got some burning sensations
you shouldn't
to
even
it.
be swallowing
Well,
that.
I'm just saying it's got it in your mouth. You don't swallow it. And you shouldn't swallow the garlic mouthwash either. But it does burn your mouth and your throat and those kinds of things. And so there are negative things to that. But once again, I don't think we're going to be able to convince people into gargling garlic. I don't think that's going to. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I just don't think people want to walk around smelling like garlic breath. It's not great.
What will happen is they will take all the garlic stuff and they'll find a way to make that...
Tasteless?
they'll be able to
Odorless?
put that into a concoction, which hopefully doesn't have a lot of other stuff you don't need in there that'll take away some of the garlickiness of it.
But if you want to try it on your own, good damn luck. Big J, Troy Aikman is pissed, and he is pissed at the NIL system. Of course,
Yeah, he is.
Troy Aikman once went to UCLA. You understand this, right?
Yes.
And he was the number one overall pick. UCLA football has been kind of in a, I don't know, stuck in a rut.
Non-existent? Non-existent
I mean,
almost.
it's bowl eligible, but it's just not, it hasn't been part of the national story in a very long time. And so the school reached out to Troy and was like, hey, listen, we've got this guy that wants to play quarterback at UCLA. Maybe cashing a check from Troy Aikman would really help him seal the deal. And Troy's like, yeah, that's cool. I'll contribute a little bit to help with the NIL program and hopefully, make this person actually go to UCLA. So he wrote the check, and he says, according to Troy Aikman, it was, quote, sizable. And this player, he would not name names, cashed that check, and then went to another school. He said that he didn't even get so much as a thank you. It was just one of those deals where he's like, I will never give any more money to NIL because it is absolutely bonkers that this is the thing that happened. And, I mean, quite ballsy by the player, right? Like, cashing that check and then going to another school?
Yeah.
Like, holy cow. I mean, I knew NIL was a mess. I didn't think people were doing that. Like,
Well,
that's like
I mean,
straight up stealing,
Was that
I think.
after the season, though? Because this story's coming out after the season.
Yeah,
so,
he said he signed with another school. Not that he, transferred. He said he went to another school instead of signing with UCLA. So it doesn't say he
Yeah.
transferred.
I mean, look, it's the Wild West, right? I mean, there needs to be a governing body.
Yeah, but when we've had the governing body, like the
We
NCAA,
need
it was terrible.
I kind of like a little bit of what I was watching Game Day this past weekend, Nick, and obviously there's a big push in some regards for them to create a commission. So much like the NFL, any major sports has a commissioner, and to have that to begin with, and then all of that other stuff, and they're pushing for one particular person to be that commissioner. You know who it is?
No.
Nick Saban.
No.
I actually think it's a great idea.
I don't.
He actually cares about the game. He got out of it because of the NIL. I think he understands it's necessary. And with some of the things that they were discussing back and forth, there were a lot of great points made about how they could govern this in a way that made sense and allowed for NIL and also, coaches having to have the opportunity to leave, but doing it. Timing is a big part of this as well.
Yeah.
As far as time of the season, signing day, portal, all of that stuff. It's all jumbled up in a mess right now. There needs to be a point of direction.
Yeah, I agree. The difference is I don't think you could do a commissioner just because in the other leagues, obviously, the commissioner works and has a vested interest in one side of the negotiation tactic, and that has
Well, they
routinely
also
been a problem.
talk that you would then also have to have some sort of player union. I mean, yeah,
Right.
they would absolutely have to have that in order to make this work, because somebody needs to be looking out for the players as well, and the students. So it's like that. There's a huge.
You're
mess
talking
that-
about turning it into pro football, essentially.
Well, yeah, it's yes.
If it's not already there. But yeah, I just don't think you will ever have, with the amount of schools that are involved in college football, that kind of uniform agreement on anything or anybody. And so it's got to be something above all of that, which is a different animal altogether, because there's so many cooks in this particular kitchen that it's impossible to, especially now that the cat's out of the bag, reel everything in. They've got to figure it out and, quite frankly, start from scratch, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Big J, I don't know how many projects we need to have about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, but there's going to be another one. Have you watched any of the 2 movies that have come out in the last 5 years
No,
about it? Yeah.
no.
Well, Lucy Arnaz, who is the daughter, of course, of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, is going to develop now another limited series exploring the lives of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz called The Greatest Story Never Told, which I do believe now has been told 5 or 6 times. But they're planning a 3-season drama spanning the early years, the rise to fame with I Love Lucy, and then the eventual separation and death of the 2 stars. We will see how it all goes. But, I mean, listen, the movies have garnered some award nominations, not wins, but not enough interest, I feel like, to make this happen. But who knows? Listen, Lucille Ball is an amazing story. The fact that she broke through when women in entertainment were not getting a whole lot of respect, and she became literally the face of a medium in television when it was in its early stages, is an incredible story. I just feel like it has been told like 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown. It's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
And we're going to hook you up here with some arena tickets. That's right, 3 Days Grace Alien Nation Tour coming to the Ford Idaho Center Arena on November 14th, 2026. So we'll get you lined up with these tickets. You just need to get on the horn here, be caller X, and beat me in Pop Culture Smackdown.
You think you can do it? Well, you answer the call, then get on the phone, 208-287-1003, and see if your pop culture knowledge outpaces that of our very own Big J, which can be more difficult than it sounds. Sometimes it's an easy battle. Other times, you've got to really climb a mountain. Let's see what happens today. How you feeling today, Big J?
I'm all right.
That's a start.
Yeah.
208-287-1003 if you'd like to play. Best of luck. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's your name?
Jeff.
All right, Jeff, you're up first. Jeff, what actor plays the role of Martin Riggs in the Lethal Weapon movie franchise?
Christmas movie.
Mel Gibson.
That is correct. Right. You're officially taking on Big J. Big J, in how many Superman movies, Big J, did Gene Hackman appear as Lex Luthor?
Great question.
Thanks.
I'm going to say 3.
Right. That is correct.
I don't think he was in the first movie.
No, he was in the first movie, the second movie, skipped the third, came back in a mistake for Quest for Peace. Not a good pick. Back to you, sir. What is Bug Bunny's catchphrase in Warner Brothers cartoons?
What's up, Doc?
Right. Correct. Big J, what is the name of Ridley Scott's production company that is slated before every Ridley Scott movie?
Oh, man.
It's got a little birdie on it.
Paradigm.
No.
I don't remember.
It's a play on his name. Would that help you at all?
Scott Ridley.
You're close. Scott Free.
Right. Scott Free.
Free is the name of his production company. Congratulations, sir. You've got tickets to 3 Days Grace as well as I Prevail and the Funeral Portrait. Hang on 1 second. We'll hook you up with those for next year. Make sure you're all good to go there. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your headlines. They're next on the X Rocks.
Like your daily update of really stupid stuff. It's time for headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by our Holiday Treasure Giveaway Party happening Monday night, 6 o'clock at Hotel Renegade, 11th and Grove in downtown Boise. If you've qualified, you know the drill. Got to be there by 6. Fun's going to start at 7. It's going to be a whole lot of time for you to get in there and get registered to make sure you're part of the big giveaway. But if you haven't yet, there will be some last chance qualifications. Not a ton, but still an opportunity for you to be in the running for your chance at over $10,000 in cash and prizes. We're going to be giving it away, and you should win your share of it. So come on out to Hotel Renegade Monday. Party begins at 6. Big giveaway begins at 7. It's all presented by Skog Law, CBH Homes, Bimart, and Hotel Renegade. We'll see you out there on Monday. Headlines are as follows, Big J. It's a thing. Damn, Rover, come on. And that's just bad luck.
That's just bad luck.
A Michigan man, Big J, died from rabies in January of 2024 after he received a kidney from a donor that had rabies, dude.
What the hell? How does that even happen?
The donor contracted rabies when a skunk scratched his skin while he held a kitten outside his home. Happened here in Idaho, dude.
Oh, wow.
During an encounter that rendered the skunk unconscious, the donor sustained a skin scratch that bled, but he did not think he had been bitten. And so he was like, this is not a problem at all. And then 5 weeks later, after he had given up the kidney, he had started to feel confusion, hallucinations, difficulty swallowing and walking. And then he died from cardiac arrest. The kidney recipient then started receiving tremors, low extremity weakness, confusion, urinary incontinence. And then 5 weeks after the transplant, he passed away from rabies. Rabies is kicking our ass, dude.
Yeah. Jesus.
What the heck? Now, organ donations aren't typically tested for rabies because it's incredibly rare that people have it. And so they don't usually run it through the pipeline. And so that's part of a problem as well. But, I guess there has to be some sort of line in the sand. You can't test it for everything. We got an emergency, transplant here. We got to get this thing rocking and rolling, right?
Yeah.
So it's rare, but, man, that sucks. You get a transplant, you're rocking, and then you get rabies. Because the kidney's got rabies. Rabies kidney. Those aren't good. It's a thing or damn, Rover, come on.
Damn, Rover, come on.
Up in Canada, a lawmaker named Andrew McKay discovered his dogs had apparently allowed some of his farm animals into his house after checking the pet camera during dinner. Security footage showed his 2 dogs pushing open a sliding door so that they could get outside. But then a steer named Sue wandered inside, followed by a couple of horses. They started sniffing furniture. Big J, they had to go to the bathroom, so they did that as well.
Well, it's warm in here. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
The animals spent about an hour and a half indoors, knocking items off of cabinets, while McKay and his fiance were dining out. Took them a while to get back there, and when they showed up, obviously the entire house was a mess, all because the dogs wanted to go outside, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Of course, McKay is kind of leaning into it. He posted some of the security video on Facebook, having some fun with it. So mistakes happen. He's not freaking out about it. But obviously, they have a whole lot of house to clean up. And I don't know how easy it can be to get a steer the hell out of your house, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no idea.
I wouldn't know how to attack that problem. Wrap it up with it's a thing. A 33-year-old hiker was rescued after spending 2 hours, Big J, trapped in quicksand at Utah's Arches National Park on December 7th.
Oh, it's scary.
Austin Dirks of Colorado became stuck near Courthouse Wash during a 20-mile backpacking trip. He said he wasn't much of a stranger to getting his feet wet, so, when he had to trudge through some mud, he wasn't that surprised. But all of a sudden, it was pretty unusual. He knew right away when he stepped in he was in trouble. And then he started to get sunk up to his knees, and he's like, I cannot get out of there. By the time rescuers showed up, he was pretty tired and stuck in almost past his knees. They had to use ladders and vehicle traction boards in order to get him out. His legs had lost feeling by that point because it also was very cold. I mean, it was December in Utah. It was 21 degrees at that point. But he held on. And so this is an opportunity to thank the rescuers, but also let people know, hey, man, quicksand really does exist. Now, not the danger that you and I thought when it was kids. Quicksand we thought was everywhere, I think. And it was automatically dangerous and it was going to kill us all. It's not like that, but it does actually exist out there. So be careful.
I was going to say, I'm like, at what point you're this guy and you're like, it's 2025. I'm going to die in quicksand. What the hell, man?
I mean, he's 33. I don't think quicksand has played the same role in his life it did for us.
Where did it come from for us? Was it Land of the Lost? I mean, I feel like there was a lot of quicksand in Land of the Lost.
I remember in Indiana Jones. Doesn't it happen in Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I think
feel like
there is
Harrison
a moment.
Ford falling in quicksand was something
it
that...
seems, though, it happened quite a bit. Yeah. In the movies that we grew up watching. It was a real danger.
It looked really soupy and it happened right away, and you knew there was no way out unless somebody threw a vine or a rope or something. Then you were screwed.
Yeah.
And it seemed like an awful way to go. So I do remember being very aware of quicksand and its properties. but apparently it is real. So I'm going to stay out of Arches National Park in Utah.
Good
just in
idea.
case.
I'm there with you.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. You're up to date on everything. It's the X-Rocks. And then Human here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, you insisted on telling me times are changing. What does that mean?
Yeah, I tell you, man. I don't know about you, but you remember the movie Better Off Dead?
Yes, John Cusack, of
Yeah,
course.
you remember the kid on the bike? He's like, he wanted his $2.
Yeah, the Paperboy.
And he had a whole legion of other kids on their bikes.
People used to have, there used to be a ton of Paperboys in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I was never a paperboy, but I definitely had friends, and we all had bicycles, and we would rove the neighborhoods.
Sure, absolutely. My friends too.
Yeah, kids are doing that again these days, Nick, except they're roving the neighborhoods on e-bikes.
Cool.
I don't know if it's cool or not.
What do you mean?
To be perfectly honest with you.
Why not?
In my neighborhood, there's 3 kids in particular. Now, they haven't done anything egregious, but I certainly worry about them from time to time because a couple of them are wearing helmets. I don't think one of them is, and they just, these bikes go fast. It's dangerous.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what kind of training they've been having. And then, of course, they're just kind of, on the loose in the neighborhood. Well, New Jersey is the first to adopt some legislation that they're putting forward to put somewhat of an end to this, to require e-bike users to have a license, Nick, and that bikes be registered and insured, because we've seen them all zooming along. People get injured all the time. It seems like it's something that's gone relatively unregulated, especially when these bikes can get up to like 30, 40 miles an hour.
Now, in your neighborhood, are these the Lime bikes, or are they bikes that they own?
No,
and
they're
have
owned
their
that
own?
they're-
Okay.
yeah,
then
they're
the parents are
obviously-
involved in the decision-making process.
Yeah, they're involved.
Sure.
Now, when we were kids, once we left on our bike, was the parents involved at all?
No, of course not.
No, they have no idea what these kids are doing in the neighborhood.
Listen, I would run off to the quarry and run my bike off the ledge of a rock into water below that. I
Oh,
should have
yeah.
been killed or paralyzed.
Yeah, go and yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, this goes back to the Gen X thing. I mean, we were doing stuff that now we can't even contemplate letting our kids go out if we knew they were going to do this kind of stuff. So I think that's probably a good idea, and in general, just the way some people have been using these e-bikes, and it's incredible what they can do and what we can mash into these little bicycles and electric scooters and such. But it's downright dangerous, and people are getting injured and dying all the time on them.
Yeah, as with everything, we have to be incredibly careful when we're talking about it and make sure that if, somebody on your list wants an e-bike, you feel like they have the cognitive ability in order to pull that off, because, yeah, they're going to be going faster than they would on a normal bike. E-bikes seem like they look exactly the same, but you don't realize how quick and fast they can get. And so making sure you're erring on the side of caution is probably important. I've heard of more people getting injured on scooters than the bikes themselves, but I can understand the dangers in both of them, for sure. You just got to be extra careful and know what you're doing and make sure you're padded up and that you don't, mind the right of way and understand traffic laws, all those kinds.
I'm still just waiting for these kids on these bikes to bully me, but
In what way?
just the roving gang. It's like
Is
gangs
that
of
what you
kids
did?
do.
Did you bully
Yeah,
people
of
when
course,
you were in
man.
your bike?
They wouldn't give us their money.
You were going
paper.
around trying to get money?
I want my $2.
Oh. Well, listen, I don't even think you have any cash on you, period.
No, I don't.
With kids
But
and e-bikes,
that's why when I pass them by in their lemonade stand, I feel real bad about it.
you're rolling by. What's your cash app, bro? We need that money.
What's your Venmo?
Venmo me $5 right now. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got ourselves a little bit of bad impressions. They're next on the X.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and for bad impressions here, we've got a nice little prize lineup for you. Papa Murphy's Boise Meal Deal. We'll get you a gift certificate for a large cowboy pizza, some breadsticks, and 2-liter bottle of your choice of soda. We'll get that to you if you call in here, be caller X, and figure out the clues to bad impression today. And boom, it's yours, man. Enjoy.
Phone number is as follows, 208-287-1003. If you'd like to play for some dinner or lunch on us, we are happy to provide it. And you just have to figure out who Big J's trying to be. Is it a famous person today, Big J?
Famous character.
Okay.
Fictional character.
I heard you clearing your throat. Does that mean we're going to get an actual impression today?
Yes, at some point.
All right. I'm excited. So if you want to play, 208-287-1003. Best of luck. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
Hey, man, you're up first. Good luck.
One of just a few characters in the fictional world that literally has its own theme music, or marching music, I should say.
Next.
I often wonder what would have happened had my master Qui-Gon Jinn not been chopped in half in Phantom Menace.
I'll do the last one. I think I know.
Let me put this helmet on, okay? Luke, I'm your father.
Darth Vader.
There you go. It's Darth Vader.
Good job.
I did
Hang
it.
on
I
one
did
second.
it.
Good job. We'll get you those actual Papa Murphy certificates. Despite the factual inaccuracies of your clue, well done. Why are you saying
that?
Listen, Qui-Gon Jinn was never his master.
He
That
was going
always-
to be his master?
and he wasn't cut in half. He fell down a hole. That was Darth Maul that was cut in half.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And so why is Darth Vader in the news?
Nick, you know, now these days you troll around on TikTok. You watch TikToks.
I lurk, yes.
Have you seen in kind of like in the side there's this little circular graphic? It's the Sora.
Is it
app.
on the actual thing?
Yeah, it just shows up.
I mean, I've seen it in videos, not in the actual
yeah,
app,
that's
though.
Sora. That's the OpenAI video generating deep AI thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to get a lot more interesting because the House of Mouse, Disney, and OpenAI struck a licensing agreement. They're investing $1 billion in the AI company, becoming a major customer. It also means you're going to officially see sanctioned AI images and videos of Disney characters starting in early 2026. So lots and lots of Star Wars videos are going to be getting made, including Darth Vader and all of the Disney characters, including Marvel characters, Nick. As a part of this new 3-year license agreement, Sora will be able to generate short, user-prompted social videos that can be viewed and shared by fans, drawing from a set of more than 200 animated, masked, and created characters from Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars, including costume, prop, vehicles, and iconic environments. That according to an announcement that was made yesterday.
All right. Free for all time in the world of AI. Enjoy.
I'll tell you now, there's lots of problems with some of this stuff, generally, of course, but also the creativity that people come up with, and just some of the videos are pretty damn hilarious. So
Sure.
not all of it's used for evil.
No, but my problem is, and maybe because they're fictional characters, there'll be less of this, but already with the Sora stuff, I see way too many people believing that it's real things that are happening, and therein lies the trouble with all of this stuff. It is far too easy to trick people. I don't think that anybody is going to believe that Darth Vader's actually, bungee jumping off of, the Snake River Bridge. I'm just saying it's definitely something that is a point of concern because that's how easily things can get out of control.
Yeah, and they've taken, and that the Sora, logo has appeared on. It's kind of like part of that thing. You see that stuff. I mean, you should just know if stuff looks too good to be real. I mean, it's probably not real, and there needs to be some sort of education process because I understand that to a certain degree. Usually, I really, admittedly, when I see stuff now, I don't believe it's real. I'll have to double check to make sure that it's real, and that's how I go about my business.
Yeah, nothing is real as far as I'm concerned.
I'm
Morning
real.
after,
Real as David Lopan.
morning after with Nick and Big J. We will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. That is end of me here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. It's the end of the Morning After as well, at least for today. Thank you very much
God,
for
give me a
hanging
heart
out with
attack
us.
there for a
Well, listen,
second, dude.
It is the end of the show. We did get a nerd alert courtesy of Big J. That happened. We talked about why today could possibly be the last day of your relationship. Nothing to do with you, of course. You're perfect. It's breakup day, and that's how things roll. We also gave away some tickets to go check out 3 Days Grace. And let's not forget, Big J, we talked about e-bikes and how you need to be careful for crying out loud. It does leave you with the floor, though.
Yeah, hey, today, special birthday, man. Kate Bishop, a.k.a. Haley Steinfeld, Mrs. Josh Allen, 29 years old today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. How old is Haley?
She's 29.
Beautiful. I always ask you, favorite Haley Steinfeld movie?
Well, let's go currently with Sinners.
All right. Not a bad choice. She's fantastic in True Grit as well.
Yeah,
In
Maddie
case you're
Ross.
curious. Yes, fantastic. And she was nominated for an Oscar for that movie, as a matter of fact. That's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for joining us. Jason Drew's going to come in next. We'll see you all tomorrow. It's the X Rocks.
Injured? At Park Gordon.